Hey, what's going on, guys? Mike from the Retrollectors in his basement doing another how-to video. It's a pretty simple task. It's maybe out of 5, I would say a 1. It's very basic. I picked up 2 NES controllers at the Salvation Armor, the thrift shop, sorry, and got a good deal on it. It's going to be in the future video, but I have them and they're kind of really dirty. I don't know if you guys could see that, but they're really gunked up and really dirty. So I picked them up and I've got a really good price on them, and I'm gonna give them a cleanup. Fairly simple. It's nothing you really have to do. You just have to take apart this. I already did it on this one. You just have to take apart the screws. You have to take them apart, unscrew it. They come apart pretty easily. 6 screws, and this wire is coiled in there. Pretty simple. It's coiled in there, just wrapped around those little spindles, and the wire just comes out, the whole circuit board comes out, and then you're left with the shell and the buttons that can be easily washed. Be using soap and water and maybe some magic eraser if I can, if I can't get anything off. It's slightly yellowing, not too bad, but it is yellowing a little bit. But I'm going to give them a nice wash and a good scrub down. So to do this, just fairly simple. I'm in my laundry sink here. It's pretty simple. It's just basically running under warm water. I have a toothbrush here, really dirty toothbrush, but I used it for all my game cleaning. Some soap, or back and forth, create a lather. Just give it a good once over. Make sure not to break anything. It's pretty easy. Like I said, it's a 1 out of 5. If you know, I've never taken apart many systems, so I can't really rate. I've taken apart that one PlayStation system, and that was fairly simple. So this is not that much more difficult. I may have to go over it again because I can't make out how much of a mess it really is, how much I'm getting off. So I may just go over it one more time. Try to get in all of the button crevices. These things get really grimy. Now you got all the buttons. Try not to lose them down the drain, but again, fairly simple. There's a controller stick, one of the dirty ones. Even these rubber pieces for the directional pad underneath, they get fairly dirty as well. Try not to scrub them too hard because I don't want anything to pop off. Select Start, one of the greatest Konami codes. Playing 2-player, select Start. I don't know which button this is, either A or B, but it doesn't really matter. And you're gonna just let these air dry on a towel of some sort. Just let it air dry, and then we'll do a put back together at the end of this video to show you how it works and show you how it works and how it looks. So now that they're all cleaned up and now it's time to put it back together, I'm going to show a before and after picture. The one that I took apart and the one that I have yet to take apart. So you can see they were both along the same lines in grubbiness. I'm just going to put this one back together, and I'm going to separate that video. I'm not going to shoot that video at all for the second controller. There's no point. It's the same setup to clean and to take apart. It's pretty straightforward. The keys in first. Silly me. Jumped ahead of myself. So there's one for the directional pad and one A and one B. They just sit properly. They just drop right in. Select and Start. drops right in. Fairly simple. You drop the rubber pieces over top. Very simple. Drop it over top, and they just drop right in. So now here's a little bit of a tricky part. You have to put the circuit board back, but it's not really tricky because it's, I don't know if you guys could see that, the wire is already basically shaped the way it's supposed to go back in. So it's very, very simple. Don't pull too hard, you just drop it in. It goes in right where it's supposed to. It sits right where it's supposed to. There's little holes in there. If you guys can see that. There's little holes right there that drop right into the circuit board. And then you just thread the wire like so. If you guys can see that. The wire's already shaped that way. It's been shaped that way for 30 years, so it's really not going to change. So you just drop the wire back in. The wire sits on top of it, and there's threads right between those two little nodes there, I guess you could say. And you just hold it down, put the top of the controller back, or the bottom of the controller back, and it should snap right into place. There we go. Like this never happened. Put the screws back together. Got my little trusty toolkit here. Can't tell you how many times I've used those screwdrivers. They come in handy, I'm telling you. It just takes a regular Phillips head, small. I don't even know what size this is. Doesn't even tell me. Let's just say a small screwdriver. Small Phillips head. Drop them in. 6 of them. Try not to strip the heads on them, because if you do, you have to try to find replacements or just jam them in. Feels pretty good. I'm gonna hook up my NES and give it a whirl. But yeah, this is pretty, like I said, it's a 1 out of 5. This is very easy. This has been sitting in a bag for, I don't know how long, quite a while, I can tell you that much. As you see, the wires like pretty much bent out of shape. But it feels good, so I'm just going to give it a try and we'll see how it goes. Good old Mayer Brothers to test it out. So there's my NES with the controller that I cleaned up. I haven't fired it up yet, but fired it up the first time. Up down feels good. Let's try that. Alright, let's see. I think I got the wires all mixed up as far as the audio wires. I just put it together really fast. But yeah, works fairly good. You don't even have to look. Oh, never mind. But yeah, this is works fairly well. Like I said, my NES fired up the first time. It's been a while since that's actually been able to do that. I gave that a clean a few months back. I cleaned up all the connections and look at that. But yeah, I'll do I'll probably take apart Danny's NES to give it a cleaning and a testing. But yeah, this is straightforward, pretty easy cleanup on the NES controller. As you can see, it works very well. Up, down. See, you can see. Start. Up, down. Oh, sorry. Select. It works all well. But again, thanks a lot, guys.